Do you know the other day? What were we just saying?
It was 2 days ago. It was the 3rd of July 2018.
Yeah.
That we made that video that preceded this one.
Yeah.
Talking about exactly that.
That there's no terror attacks. Guess what?
Still no terror attacks.
There's been a poisoned couple were exposed to nerve agents.
But wait a minute. What were all the armed forces and those wearing those Teletubby outfits doing there for the past 3 or 4 months when they said they were cleaning up?
Trying to check to see if there was any novechok.
And they didn't find any?
No.
But
the sinister minister said this. What?
This random man and woman just find it and a poison from it, even though the first one was proven false flag.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm knocking him down with a feather. In fact, I'm going to knock myself down with a feather. Seriously? Right, do you want to laugh?
Always.
Porton Down scientists and counter-terrorist police investigate second novechok poisoning near Salisbury. Now,
alleged second.
Alleged second poisoning. Now, it was on the news just a few days ago, wasn't it, that Porton Down were transferring some novechok.
Correct.
By the way, it's patented by the US government.
Yes,
in America.
The US Patent Office.
Right, and the football's still on in Russia, and they were moving some of it from somewhere to somewhere else.
Yeah, they were moving it from Porton Down to wherever this couple were.
Do you know when something really, really stinks? When Cobra. This used to be David Cameron's emergency committee.
Oh, when they set up a Cobra meeting.
So he says the government's emergency committee in Cobra going to meet. Right, the mind-controlling bullshit where they make things up. You know, the ancient Egyptians used to have this on the head, didn't they? This King Cobra, Najahaji, they used to call it. You know, you'd come near us and we would bite you. The gardens and church are sealed off to protect the public. Security services never found materials used to poison Sergei. This is apparently they've managed to get samples of it from Donald Trump to analyse, and they instantly knew.
Oh yes,
that it was novechok. The sinister minister, what was his name? The security minister this morning. It was on television. He was absolutely sweating underneath the Feltram area, underneath the nose, and they were grilling him on the TV, and he kept going, "Look, believe me, it's like this, you know." He kept saying, "You know."
Yes, we know that you lot that did it.
There's a couple who collapsed close to the city of Salisbury were poisoned by the same nerve agent that came close to killing Russian dissident Sergei and his daughter Yulia, police said yesterday. Do you think this would be
novechok 2? The sequel.
The sequel. Counter-terrorism officers were called in to investigate as the man and woman named locally as mother of 3, Dawn Sturgis and Charlie Rowley. Sturgis and Rowley. I smell something fishy here, really.
Now, interestingly, someone contacted me on one of the social media sites saying that he's actually staying in a hotel around that area, and he says that the hotels are now full with ambulance crews and that have all checked in, and other private contractors that have checked in.
It's amazing, this novechok, apparently, if you just get it in a little drop in the vicinity, about 200 people drop dead. Check this out. Tests were carried out yesterday on samples sent to the government chemical weapons research laboratory.
But wait a minute. With the Scripples, they knew straight away. They not just knew what it was, they knew who'd done it.
Manufactured in the USA, and they blame the Russians.
Yeah. And just happened to be stored at Porton Down.
Well,
just coincidence. Nothing to see here. Move along.
It's like, it's Porton Down that's done it then.
Yeah. Well, that's where it's come from.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you see, everyone was too happy because of the football, so let's get a hold of them again. Let's take them back into fear.
Oh, didn't Porton Down? There was a chap on Sky News from Porton Down says we can't verify exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So late last night, Porton Down confirmed it contained the nerve agent novechok. Metropolitan Police Assistant Commissioner, I wouldn't trust any of that lot, said that no one else appears to have been contaminated. Amazing. Let's go and get a cotton bud, get a couple of little samples of it, yeah? Right? Put it in a little bottle. We're not going to get contaminated, are we? For wearing Teletubbies and...
there's something, let's just test. Oh, yeah, that's novechok.
That's novechok. Yeah, well, we'll say it's novechok. Investigators were trying to establish how the couple came into contact with the nerve agent. Okay, and they got samples of it.
Yeah.
They didn't know how they came into contact with it, but they got samples of it. Now, what does that tell you? It stinks. And sealed off several locations where they had been, including, and I'm going to grab hold of this, including, and you couldn't make this up, right? Queen Elizabeth Garden and Church.
You could have knocked me over with a feather.
Seriously?
But this,
close to where the scribbles were found.
This should just make those that aren't aware yet think this sounds dodgy. It not just sounds dodgy, it smells dodgy, and I suspect it is dodgy.
Do you know, I reckon we could drive down there tomorrow and we could go and lick every park bench and door handle in the place and there'd be nothing wrong with us.
Well, you can do that, I'm not doing it.
2 government Cobra meetings were held yesterday. So the materials used to poison the scribbles were never found. A Downing Street spokesman, now this is number 10, Decimate, that fantastic,
treasonous
beautiful woman, Teresa May's house. The Downing Street spokesman said this is an incident which understandably is being treated with the utmost seriousness. You can't be serious. Oh, by the way, all the residents living in Amesbury are all panicking, they're going crazy, they're all leaving, they're all frothing at the mouth, they're turning into zombies. No.
No, they're not.
No.
No.
So 2 found collapsed.
So, false flag number 2.
She says this woman here that's lived there for 8 years, and she says it feels like Salisbury all over again. It's very quite scary what happened, but nobody else is poisoned. We all feel okay. There seems to be a lot of attention to the fact that they were drug users, but there's more than this and meets the eyes. Who were drug users? Who were drug users? They were drug users, but there's more to this than meets the eye. They wouldn't do all this for an overdose. There's no way. It's very scary. What's it saying yours? Because it's slightly different in this. I know we've got a bit of a long KaK M Show today.
What page it's on?
Page 11. It was that important. It's on the 11th page because there's 11 pages of football first. People are dying in Avebury, and you know, this is something got spiritual. If anybody heard of a book called 2/3, and you know what 2/3 is, don't you? 66.6. 2/3 Avebury. There's a book all about Avebury called 2/3. It's expensive. You can get hold of it, but yeah, 2/3, 666. So eventually, after we got through the football, oh, we've got a beautiful guided map around the town here. Look at this, here they are, Dawn and Charlie. Everybody loves a bit of Charlie and Dawn. Collapsed and was left in coma in hospital. Muddleton Road, Boots Pharmacy. They visited the Boots Pharmacy, right? And then the Baptist Church, and then Muddleton Road, and then Queen Elizabeth Gardens. They became unwell at Queen Elizabeth Gardens after touching item. After touching item.
What item would that be then?
Let's try and find out. Item. Officials thought they had cleaned up all the novechok left over from the scribbles were poisoned in March. Remember, they couldn't find it. So they cleaned it all up that they couldn't find. This doesn't make any sense. Alcoholic Dawn lives 300 yards from Zizi's, where the scribbles were on the day they were poisoned. Police sealed off a bin near the Queen Elizabeth Gardens. Dawn was staying with heroin addict Charlie. Oh, so did they get rid of a couple of crackheads? Is that what they've done? to have a go at the Russians. It says 5 hours later, Charlie was also taken to hospital after stumbling to a zombie-like state. Maybe he's had some crack.
Maybe he's had some of that synthetic marijuana.
I've not even heard about that. Was that spice stuff?
Yeah, well, sort of. It's been okayed by the FDA, so you know it's shit.
He was dribbling and rocking backwards and forwards. Wiltshire police said they initially thought the pair had taken contaminated drugs, but early yesterday they declared a major incident. I know.
So right, if that's what Wiltshire police thought, then they took no protection against the poisoning at the time and are fine.
Yeah, they must have picked them up and put them in a van. So are the only Wiltshire police poisoned there?
Or ambulance?
This stinks. It absolutely stinks, and it doesn't stink of novechok. It says novechok is so potent that the tiniest traces can be deadly. They could wipe out 200 people in just a small vicinity. The Scripples spent weeks in hospital after the attack, blamed on Russia, and are still recovering.
And yet this has supposedly been there for like months and months and months, and no one else has been contaminated except apparently these two.
Yeah.
You think that like they're drug dealers, maybe slip some tiny little trace of it in there just to, you know, do as is told by government?
It still doesn't say in the whole article the couple became unwell after touching item. It doesn't say what the item was. You know what the item was?
Bullshit.
It certainly wasn't pigs or sheep. I agree with him. What did you call it?
Novichok 2. Novichok 2, the sequel.
There you go.